Welcome to Hobbs Cast. I thought I'd cast this nice game here for you today. A classic one on Doom Spiral. It's played on UA Test Patch. So without any big introductions, let's get straight on into the game. So on the right side we have Hobbs playing as his customary Space Marine, opening up 2 scout squads. Meanwhile, rounding out the top team we have Stranger playing as his customary Orks, opening up with a secondary early Gretchen, possibly going for some sort of aggressive shenanigans here. We'll have to keep an eye on this second early builder. Perhaps he's just scaling up on the economy, but perhaps he's got something more aggressive in mind. Perhaps forward Warg banners off of the front point. He is going for the front point first, so we'll have to see what he goes for. And we have 2 capping squads out of Stranger. For the bottom team we have Demi, made 2 capping squads, and he is going for an early bike. Rounding out the bottom side team we have Gore Chewy playing as his customary Imperial Guard, opening up 3 capping squads, and he is going to be getting a forward generator, get double adjacency with a forward infantry command. So that's some nice adjacency from there planned for Gore Chewy. You could open up with 4 early capping units for guard and go offense and try and get some decaps with these cheap reinforcers here, only costing a little bit. Well, how much is it? 8 requisition for a conscript. But he's not going for that in this particular game. Enough ranting from me. Looks like we've got some aggressive minds here from Stranger, who's doing some harassment on Demi's LP. Hob sharking around for some engineer kills. I think these are just out of his vision range. Yep, so he hasn't seen those. Demi going after Hobbs engineers with his bike. He uses the ram early. Possibly questionable choice to use this against just 2 builders, but he is going to get the kill. Meanwhile, on the left side, Demi's point being decapped by Stranger's forces. So a nice decap there for the left side. Even better than killing the engineers is getting a full decap on the point. So nice play there from Stranger, retreating over the mines. And oh, it looks like Demi does take a little bit of that bait, so unfortunate there for Demi. His bike's going to be damaged. He's going to have to get some repairs on that. Looks like he is doing that now. But the topside team happy to take this fight now with the bike out of the picture, and these tanks haven't yet arrived. We've got 2 commanders on the field for the top team, so they're content to take this engagement. Scouts being used to lock up the fire support lieutenant in melee combat. Nice bit of play out of Hob. And just a bit of a shit fight going down now as both sides seek to lock each other up in melee combat. These tanks are running into melee. We've got the force commander running into melee. It's got decent range firepower, but it's getting a good amount of melee kills, it looks like. And even the bike running up into melee. So it's going to be a slow, sluggish fight as these guys try to get the upper hand of the engagement. While this is happening, we've got a forward infantry command coming out from Gore Chewy, using the chaos and the time ensued in that to get this forward infantry command up to siege Hobbs' forward LP. In the meantime, we'll have a quick look at builds. We've got 2 LP2s out from Hob, off of 1 gen. He's making his 2nd tactical marine. Meanwhile, for Stranger, we've got 2 LP2s out for him, 1 gen. It's pretty standard here. 1 LP2 out for Demi and 1 gen. Let's see, Demi could probably afford to use a bit more of this power, get his 2nd LP2 up and a 3rd. A little bit too much float here for my liking for Demi. A potential decap, but he's paying good attention, so he's moved his builders to do that, but he shouldn't move them all the way in. Ooh, the painful loss of the builders there for Demi. We'll have to see how he gets on. The builder not quite managing to be sniped by Hob. He's going to have to retreat his tactical marines. Oh, he's going to lose them. And this is unfortunate for Hob, as his army is now being split on 2 sides. We've got a bit of a fight going on. This bike is trying to be caught by the top team as they rotate away from this infantry command. Infantry command now doesn't have any vision with no conscripts hanging around, so it won't be able to push this listening post. The bike retreating. Brother Captain, being hardcore focused by the LP, is going to have to retreat before he goes down. So unironically, the LP doing some nice work there, going after the injured Brother Captain, and the top team in full retreat. While they're in retreat, and there's a bit of a... In fact, before I go into that, the big mechas, unfortunately, it looks like a misclick. He's been microed back in, and Stranger's going to be kicking himself about that when everyone's done mistakes like that, but it's just a part of playing Dawn of War, I suppose. While these guys are rotating around the map, let's take a quick look at builds. Hobbs is scaling up his 3rd generator, going for his Tech 1. Stranger with a 3rd Warg banner, up to 3 gens. Demi only now getting his 2nd generator. and going for an armory. No Tech 1 on the way for him. So looking to hit a tier 0 timing, and he is moving in, so we'll have to keep an eye on the army. Meanwhile, Gorchui, he's got more gens coming up and a tech which is almost done. He hasn't quite got enough power to make full use of this tech as it gets slapped down. So he needs to scale up to the 250 power to get his Wreck Global down. We'll see if he does that. But Hob, now facing the full force of both armies, is retreating to not lose units. Brother Captain going back down into the red, it seems. And he's moving back to fight under LPs. A wise decision there from Hob while being pushed. Demi, we'll see if he throws any incendiary grenades, if he's got any yet. He looks like he's adding flamers. Hob wisely straight away running into melee combat to lock up these units, while Stranger deals the damage with the big shooters from the north side. Demi's bike doing some disruption, getting a bit of relief for the bottom side team, but unfortunately the bike does go down. And Hob doing what he can. Looks like adding a flamer of his own, though he does have an armory of his own. Take a quick look at Demi's armory. What's he going for? Incendiary grenades and +1 bionics, so should have an upgrade advantage over Hob going for that early armory, but will be at a disadvantage with his tech, which is only just coming up now. So we'll have an economic disadvantage. We'll see if that works out for me. Throwing his incendiary grenades now. Taking quite a bit of fire, loses the flamer in retreat. Hob's Devastator's coming forward and missile launchers, so he is on tier 1. And we'll have to see what's he going for. Extra population, extra Devastators, and Apothecaries. Meanwhile, Stranger with the first vehicles out. Got a war track coming out, and looks like another war track coming out, so we'll have to keep an eye on those. Hob gently tickling the forward infantry command of Gorchui. He's got a missile launcher and he's got multi-melters. Skull probe for sight range, giving the vision for the missile launchers. And Stranger is rotating to the bottom side of these war tracks. Quick look at point about the economies. With this slow tech from Demi, Hob's already getting his LP global requisition upgrade, as is Stranger. As is Gorchui, is almost finished for him. And Demi only just starting his now, so is a bit behind on economy. But anyway, let's get back into the action. Stranger, sending some war tracks down the bottom side, is taking out successfully a generator of Gorchui. That's a nice run by from him, making use of the war track speed. Looks like a missile launcher in response from Demi is going to help Gorchui to force off these war tracks. So a nice response there from Demi, backing up his teammate, rotating. Some good Doom Spiral play there out of him. Nice team play. Looks like the forward infantry commander has gone down to the multi-melters and zap cannons of the top team. Lots of long-range weaponry. Demi moving in with his incendiary grenades and Hob throwing them back in response. So nice play out of both Space Marine players there, utilising the full extent of their arsenal. And it looks like the top team just has more long-range weapons here than the bottom team. We've got heavy bolters, multi-melters, missile launchers, zap cannons, and just this one heavy weapon team from the bottom side. Meanwhile, the war tracks have rotated further north. A missile launcher in position for Demi is going to force them back, and we can see Gretchen in the dust of this war trap even, getting the repairs down. So, well, in fact, Demi retreating his missile launchers. I'm not sure this is the right call just yet. And unfortunately, his tacks are being caught out on the map with no pressure being put back on the war tracks. He's going to lose quite a few tacks in retreat here. That's unfortunate for him. These missile launchers on full health could have been dealing some damage to these war tracks. Meanwhile, Hob with a few more ranged weapons than Gorchui on the bottom side, and is going to be making best use of his Devastators here to put in more and more shots into Gorchui's units. Gorchui shielding with conscripts at the front, a wise decision. In fact, a Punisher cannon now coming up for Gorchui on his turret, so he's going to be happy to finally be ranging back against Hob with some more serious firepower. Lieutenant Command Tank is out. This unit is in test patch now, so it's come out of the factory, and it's using its superior range to go after these war tracks. A wise decision there from Gorchui. We'll have to see what he's going to get done with this. The top teams, the bottom team, sensing an opportunity to push with this tank. But a big concave now of anti-vehicle from the top team is arrayed against it. This tank really needs to back off and use the full extent of its range. Gorchui realizing the threat does back off. Hob going in deep to try and go after this tank, but it has been forced back by these plasma gun guardsmen and the numbers of tacticals from Demi. Nice use of a chaplain there from Demi, getting that early healing out at a cheaper price and getting a commander at a decent rate as well. An excellent commander is the chaplain. And both sides just fighting under smoke here, so it's going to be a bit of a slugfest, which gives me as a caster the opportunity to have another look around the map. We see Stranger scaling up his power economy. He's now onto a second headquarters. What else do we see? Hob going for his own vehicle facility, getting his chaplain out now. And a run by here from Stranger. The war tracks have rotated up north away from the main battle and are doing some harassment on Demi's LPs. Demi with 4 LP3s already, so he's committed a big investment into LP3s. Only with a singular Devastator squad has put almost all his money into these LP3s, and Stranger is going to harass one not shortly after it's been built, so this LP3 might not even pay for itself before it goes down. Meanwhile, looks like Hob's got a Dreadnought in the south going in, and he's going to shark after some Devastator kills. The anti-vehicle from the top team, both the missile launchers and the command tank, caught out of position while they're going after these war tracks. This Dreadnought is now going to get huge damage done. First gen goes down, second generator going down now, and a third gen being focused. Gorchui brings his tank back to respond, but Demi's AV is caught out of position, responding to the top push. And this generator is going to go down. So nice harassment there from Hob. And he's going to instantly waste no time and go straight for the rest of the generators in the main base. Gorchui responding quickly, getting his LPs back down again. But Hob's Dreadnought has to be cleaned up now. This is critical. Gorchui cannot afford to lose more generators after just losing a bunch. And it looks like his tank will respond. He will clean up this Dreadnought from Hob. Thunderfires are out. And a big line of units from Demi and Gorchui. Demi making use of his LP3 economy, getting plenty of reinforcers on his Space Marines. Hob repositioning and popping smoke to form a defensive line under his LPs. Nice decision making there from Hob, not sticking out to fight in the open. And we've got big shooters still from Stranger contributing to the fight against the guard. And a Damocles is now out for Demi. We'll take a quick look at the POV of the opponent. Demi is using the ability, making units more difficult to target as the fog of war is being reduced for the top team. They're going to want to get rid of that Damocles as soon as possible to preserve their chances in this engagement, because as units will essentially lose their targeting priority and shoot other units as they go in and out of focus. But Stranger is hardcore focusing this Damocles with 2 zap cannons, and it looks like it will go down with some assistance from Hob. A Lieutenant Command Tank has sniped a Thunderfire in the back, so he's wisely repositioning further back. And Hob is now in full retreat as his forces are quite low in number. He's got a chaplain out, and both the front points going down for Hob and Stranger as a huge army surges through the middle here from Demi and Gorchui. A big map presence here, and not much out for Strangers, it must be said, but he's going for 3 Warg banners off the back of this, so fast teching out from Stranger, as you could do a little bit with the Orks, so making best use of that. But Hob, with very little on the front line to defend here, doing everything he can. He's popped smoke, he's giving ground, and he's retreating to not lose too many units. We'll see if Hob can hold this attack. Looks like Demi and Gorchui are looking to end this game now, and are moving in on Hob. Stranger without much out still. We'll see what he's got planned. Looks like flash kits have been being researched and more artillery, but very little out at the moment, and a big wreck float, so it's clearly planning to hit a tier 2 timing and a decent power float as well. He's going to come up with a serious swell of tier 2 if Hob can just hold on. We'll go to Hob's POV. He is taking quite a bit of fire from the other team. Incendiaries going out from either side, smokes being popped, thunderfires being produced, and Hob just doing everything he can to hold off this assault. A desperation heavy bolter turret comes down. This thunderfire a little out of position, isn't quite microed back in time, and Hob under serious pressure. And The onus now is on Demi with all these tactical marines to realise they've got the advantage and to push in and get those bolters into range. Same with the plasma guns of these guardsmen, not to sit at range of the heavy bolters and thunderfires, but to move in. And this is unfortunately what they're not doing at the moment, is moving in and just crushing Hob, which they need to do now. More smokes are being popped, the turret goes down. Hob doing what he can, and Demi does realise the situation. He does start to read it now, and has moved in with his bolters and combi bolters of the sergeants, which do have the plasma gun upgrade. Hob taking serious punishment now. Really on his last leg. Stranger's going to need to come up with something soon, and he has. We've got Mad Dogs, we've got Flash Gits, we've got Big Mech, and we've got artillery coming out for Stranger. If Hob can give it hold on. Looks like even the brother captain has switched to melee stance now, doing everything he can to take as little damage as possible with his army. Hob pumping out of 3 structures. And the relief forces are here. I was about to say Fat Boys have arrived, but that's just my imagination. Flash Gits have arrived. Thinking of Supreme Commander there. Wrong unit name, Hob. Flash Gits have arrived. And it looks like Hob pumping out of all of the structures he can, taking even weapon servitors out of desperation. Flash Gits getting involved. Lieutenant Command Tank is now being predated by 3 gun wagons, which have been upgraded with the Zappy cannons. So Gorchui's going to have to micro back against that. He recognises the threat, it looks like, and is going to micro his Lieutenant's Command Tank back. Big numbers of Flash Gits. Unfortunately getting stun grenades from Demi though, and the Primaris Psyche are chasing them, so they are going to be forced off. But a nice concave across the back line here from Hob. We've got weapon servitors, we've got devastators, we've got hellfires, more devastators here, and Hob instantly replacing his points as soon as the territory is safe. So nice play out of the top side team. Stranger slightly overextending with his gun wagons. He's going to need to reposition as heavy weapon support teams are out for Gorchui. But it looks like the top team has managed to secure the main base of Hob, and now a big presence of Flash Gits out from Stranger. This is going to be a serious threat to deal with for the bottom team. And a lot of range firepower. Weapon servitors, devastators, hellfires, Flash Gits and artillery versus a handful of tacticals and a few Imperial Guard units. And the bottom team will be forced back. So successful hold here from Hob and Stranger. Woo. A quick lull in the action allows me to catch my breath a little bit as a caster. Let's take a quick look at HQs. We've got still just 1 HQ out for Gorchui. We'd really expect to see a second out from him at this stage of the game to get some more power and some more tanks out. Demi with a second HQ to mirror Hob's second HQ, and Stranger with 2 HQs as well. Flash Gits moving in for some kills. Would not want to be these devastators right now, simply up against much superior numbers. This represents a huge dump of requisition compared to this sort of medium-sized, what would you call it, expenditure. Meanwhile, Hob doing pressure in the bottom side. He's got multi-melters here, he's got thunderfires, he's got hellfires. It looks like he's focus firing the forward Lehman Russ battle tank of Gorchui. Nice heavy weapon teams out here using their long range from Gorchui though, fighting on 2 fronts. Nice work from him. Looks like the Lehman Russ does go down, and Hob being forced off of the assault. And a big presence of Flash Gits still. It's almost surprising Stranger hasn't decided to commit in against the Space Marine. Right now, if I were Demi, I would certainly not be out on the map. I would be fighting back here under LP range, just popping as many smokes as I can and trying to get as many reinforced units on the field. I would not be taking a fight if I could choose to not take it against the Orks here. He's throwing in grenades, and I can hear artillery here from this mortar doing some disruption. Looks like Hob's content to sit back and pop shots with his thunderfire cannons and hellfires against this guard force. And just a small lull in the action again, thankfully. Nice piece of artillery up from Gorchui, and looks like Demi's making, yes, some artillery as well. They're going to need that against the Flaskit blob if they're going to be able to use their infantry to effectively combat it. So recognizing the opportunity of their units there. And the Primaris Psyker going in deep against the Orks. A pretty, I almost want to say a foolhardy push here. We've got 3 of these ouchie platforms. Well, he does decide to retreat, which is a good option now. He's going back in. I'm not sure this is the right decision here for Gord Chewy. Primaris Psyker under heavy fire. He does need to go and retreat now. I think he's just about going to survive. I think he's going to get out in time. Come on, he needs to keep moving. There's another shot coming in from the ouchie platform, and he is going to go down. So unfortunate miss micro there for Gord Chewy. Meanwhile, while the army is up in the north, Hob is pushing down in the south. Earthshaker coming in from Gord Chewy, doing some pretty heavy damage here. Models being picked off and knocked back. So nice play out of Gord Chewy. Is going to retreat his artillery now. Unfortunately, looks like Demi has passed the wrong way around the terrain, and I don't like this engagement for him. He's coming in one by one in a line here, up against Hob's Thunderfire cannons and Devastators, and he is going to lose quite a few tactical marines, it seems, in the retreat. So unfortunate miss micro there from Demi. He could do with just sticking back here by this Punisher cannon turret, and he is going to do so now. So recognizing the engagement's not in his favor. Meanwhile, a huge, I would say a critical mass at this point of Orks in general. We've got a lot of flash kits. We got a good number of tag busters, and this poor tech marine just being absolutely peppered as the Orks open up a huge amount of firepower. And Stranger going in deep. He's going after the artillery and looks like the energy production of Demi. He can pretty much kill everything here with this many flash kits. Chaplain going down. Generators being popped one by one as he's focused down. Just almost instantly evaporating. His tanks barely come off the floor of the war factory, and as he's going down. So Demi unfortunately getting absolutely molested here by these flash kits. Meanwhile, Hob with some anti-structure, pushing in with scattered units. Is going to force back the Limonrus battle tanks of Gord Chewy. And yeah, look at these Devastators. They've just come off the line and are being mowed down. Flash kit's too strong, lol, said Demi. I mean, even if you've got more Devastators, you're fighting Tech 1 units against Tech 2 units, and this was a timing from Stranger. I mean, Demi had his timings in his Tech 0 armory play and with his Tech 1 Devastator play, and still didn't manage to crack Hob and allowed Stranger to have this time to prepare. So that's why we see so many flash kits out at this point in the game. So a nice build out of Stranger here, and it looks like it's going to be game. But what a game! I mean, I found this difficult to cast just doing it. We're up to Triple HQ from Stranger, and it looks like he's not maxed out his generator count, and he's just put all his money into these flash kits, which has produced an absolute steamrolling force here. I mean, just look at it, just absolute firepower, the Lord General going down, and everything just being shredded. So Stranger given some good preparation time while Hob held this attack in the north. We see full LP3s here from Hob and a second HQ, scaling up his power economy. And that's going to be game. What a game. What a game. Back and forth, and every player having to micro in and out, take constant little engagements, do optimizations, pop smokes, incendiaries, reposition all the time. Constantly the ebb and flow of this game as units move in and out of position, attacks are coming in and out. Just active micro from every single player in this match, producing a fantastic game. And rarely do you see a player going to losing all 3 of his front LPs and then still coming back into the game, as happened here in this match. And even in the early game we had harassment on Demi's front points, and he still came back into the game with a strong Tech 1 push and against the top team. So a really back and forth match here on Doom Spiral. A nice classic game for you guys. So I hope you all enjoyed. This is Hob, signing out.